All right, so we are going to be preparing for an Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge video today. If you're new here, my name is Haysie Simmer, and I started my channel a few years ago, but 2 years ago, I got kind of some traction based on my Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge, where I took Morbid Gamer's Ultimate Decades Challenge and kind of added my own chaotic rules that kind of enveloped the body of The Sims 4 and all the quirkiness that comes in The Sims 4. Since then, this being a part-time hobby, life got crazy. For Rent came out and ruined my save file. So Extreme Ultimate Decades has been on pause all summer, and I'm super happy to bring it back, but I'm going to be bringing back my own version that is going to be different. So today's episode, I'm going to start off talking about what that looks like. So if you're new here, I am a storytelling channel who plays Sims. I'm not a day in the life playing Sims where you have to watch me send my Sim to the bathroom. I talk. That is exactly what this is. Imagine it a video form of a podcast. So if you don't want to hear me talk about the Extreme Ultimate Decades, I do have other challenges on my channel where I'm playing The Sims, and they're all different levels of me talking versus playing. But Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge is a heavy story and explaining challenge. So if you don't want any of that, this is your warning now. I don't want any comments saying more playing, less talking. This series is done this way for a reason. You don't have to watch it. This is what I do in my free time. Okay, so after being real, today is officially the first day of fall, and I'm very excited to bring this back because I just had at home a Hobbit feast with my friends. So I'm kind of already in that like medieval fun vibe mood, and I've been really wanting to get back into Extreme Ultimate Decades. My save file is broken. So as you guys can see, I tried to make a new save file. I tried really hard to copy everyone, make them all connected in a new save file. And I spent 2 hours a week for 3 months trying to do that. And I still don't have the save file where it makes sense to our story. So instead of scrapping the story and starting over, I was really excited to find out a person who I follow who made me want to play this challenge, Cosmic Gamer. I want to make sure that's right. I'm sorry, it's Cosmic Hippie. She redid her Extreme Ultimate Decade, or hers is Ultimate Decades, but now she has her own version where she adjusts the rules and changed the timeline and the history. She's doing like French and Spanish history, I believe. And you guys know I play Fantasy Wise, which is why I call it, yes, Cosmic Hippie, which is why I call it mine is the Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge, because I play a fantasy version. So it's not even real. Our country's name is Avalon. It is not medieval Europe. We follow some events of those timelines. Like our plague was a vampiric plague, things like that. We did have a famine. I made our famine go longer. I changed the rates of death. So some of my deaths are higher. We have magic in our world. So, my game is technically different. So I've decided that if I'm going to play Ultimate Decades, the way the rules were written, I would have to treat it like a full-time job when it comes to the charts, when it comes to the family tree. And I don't get the opportunity to do the storytelling that I love to do. You guys know I'm a storytelling channel. So when you guys always say, oh, I love the twist you did, I love the story you're telling. I'm not just playing a medieval family who's going to farm and selling their stuff at the market. Like we have like political corruption in our monarchy. We have magic. We have, plagues. We have all that kind of stuff. And you guys enjoy that kind of storytelling. And that's the kind of books I like to read. So that's kind of how my storytelling comes out. That if I'm going to be able to storytell, I have to change the challenge rules. So I am going to do my version of it because I did the math. And if we were to do the Ultimate Decades Challenge and play to the year 2020, because that's how far it goes from the year 1300 to the year 2020, we would have over, and this is if none of our heirs die early and everyone lived about the average Sim life for that time, we would have over 250 heirs and their families. And this challenge would take, if I played it full time, like a job 9 to 5 or 5 days a week, it would take me 3.5 years to finish it exactly the way the rules are written. I play Sims in my free time. If this ever became a full-time job, I would absolutely do it the way the rules said, because I'd be getting paid to do it. Sims is meant to be fun for me. So I need to, and I really enjoy the storytelling and the rotational gameplay. I need to focus on less family members. We have way too much family members. And I don't enjoy playing year by year by year because some characters I'm just not invested in. So I was thinking we do time jumps. I'm not going to play Cosmic Hippie's version, but she posted her rules, made a spreadsheet. If you guys want to follow along, it seems like, so she's doing 20 generations and then they go out through, it's a timeline where you jump time periods. I love that. I don't want to limit myself to 20 generations, but I do want to do some time jumps. I don't know if you guys know the board game Risk, where you have to have like where you take over the world and you have different countries and certain characters are worth different points. That's how I was going to do battles and scrimmages in the war and roll dice to see like how many people we lose, and stuff like that. I was really excited to do that. And then my save file just became like dead. So if you see any glitches or anything crazy in the video, I've taken out so much of my medieval CC and stuff just so I can get to our cast and we can see our characters. And then we're going to do a time jump. And what I'm going to do is play a few days in The Sims, like where maybe every day will be a year and we can talk about the events that happen. And I show you guys some B footage of like characters getting married, people dying, like, and kind of story tell that way. And do it kind of like a time lapse or a montage where you can see what happened in those time frames. And you will know what happened to the characters and the families, but we're not going to play their everyday life. So the fun part is when we jump back into live gameplay and it's not like you seeing what happened, like a flashback, everything that happened will be set in stone. So if our guys lose, they lost. And we can't rally the troops or whatever. We have to live with the consequences of the history that played out. And I think it's going to be really fun. That's as much as I want to talk about it. It's almost been 10 minutes and I don't want to like have you guys on here forever thinking I'm going to sit here and talk for 30 minutes or whatever. But I think that if we do it that way, I can just create a new save file. The whole goal is to quickly get to the year 1400 as possible and still do storytelling, because at the year 1400 is when I wanted to make a new save file, download new mods, only have a small bit of medieval mods in my game and start from scratch. But I don't want to lose our characters and our lore. So I want to carry out them as far as we can, use them to die in the war as they all die off. And then we take our like 4 or 5 key households and then I make the same country, but like these are all that's left of, the families. I hope that makes sense. I just don't want to start over super fresh. So I will need you guys to overlook any glitches because it's really important to me to get this chapter wrapped up. We're going to just jump into the year 1400 and this will be their history books. And as you know, history books are not perfectly annotated and always told they tend to have opinions in history instead of just straight facts. So I think it'd be really fun to say like, the lore of the 1300s is vague because of record keeping, war, famine, the illiteracy of the general public and stuff like that. So, all these people won't no one's going to know who Colin Williams is. I know who Colin Williams is. That's the dad of Mary, but no one's going to know who they are in the year 1400, if that makes sense, because it would have been 60 years in the past. So I'm really excited to do that jump. And then from there, anytime I want to fast forward to an event, we may just do like a montage episode of like, this is what the last 5 years, this is what happened. And you guys can see who got married, who had kids, who died and stuff like that. The 4 days being a year, if I want a year to be longer, I'm going to make the year be longer because I want to properly tell the story. So if I'm rotating between 3 households and I'm having fun doing that, I'm going to spend more time telling those character stories. But if like whenever Francis was the heir temporarily because Frederick's family died, I was not invested in Francis. And see, I can't even remember his name. And when Francis died, I was so happy to take over with his son Theodore and his triplets because at least they're more interesting. So I spent like 3 or 4 episodes playing as Francis. I don't want to do that because that's each year is 4 days. So I'm playing the sim for like 2.5 sim weeks and I'm not having fun. So the goal is to keep it fun. We will still have extreme moments. So I'm going to continue to call it Extreme Ultimate Decades. If you are peeved that I'm calling it Ultimate Decades, I just want you to know that this is meant to be a safe space. I'm sharing something that makes me happy. And sometimes I do get like the weirdest, like hateful comments on this challenge. I delete them. I don't care. It's not that I can't handle them. It's just, this is me for fun. I said a million times I'm not playing 100% by the rules. That doesn't mean I'm cheating. I'm not going to get an award for playing perfectly anyways. So if it's in the game and if it's how I want to play it and it's my storytelling, I'm allowed to do that. So I'm just hoping that I can make that very clear and have you guys all understand that I'm just trying to have fun. It is still an Ultimate Decades because I'm going from we started at the year 1298 and I'm still going to go. I plan on going to the year 3000. I have a plan for when we get into the year 2020, my sim, I want to invent time travel and jump to the future. I've always planned for that. It's in my notes. I've always planned to do that. I thought it'd be really fun storytelling. I don't want to have people like be so critical, being like, well, you're not playing the challenge. I am playing a timeline challenge in my own made up universe, starting from a medieval-ish time period to and ending in a futuristic time period. That's a timeline. Okay. That's a decade. Ultimate decades, you know? So anyways, all the disclaimers, the reason I give them is because this challenge, while people love it, I do get some feedback because people aren't happy with how I play. You don't have to be here. And I mean that in the nicest way, because I want your time to be spent well. And if you're not happy spending it with me, please don't. And if you are happy spending it with me, thank you. It means a lot to me. I said I wasn't going to talk more, but I talked for 4 more minutes. Let's get into gameplay. This is my list of the 100-year roll of all the characters I sent. I do think I forgot to add... Yes, I remember now. I forgot to add our heir, Theodore. He's a teenager. All teenagers have to go. And I missed Theodore. Theodore is married. He wouldn't have been would he? Yes, he would have been drafted because he is a minor noble, so he would have been told to go. His employment is he is a baron. His military rank. So I gave them ranks, which is going to count as points on the dice. I'm not sure where a baron. I guess he would be considered a royal, but I wouldn't consider a baron a royal over a knight. Maybe we could say he's going to be representing a captain role. That makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, I do know I can look up like actual rankings and stuff like that and roles. Again, I play so fantasy and I actually want to play that I'm not really overly concerned. His wife isn't going to cheat on him because because remember, I was going to add that to the story as well, is will they cheat on their spouse or will their spouse cheat on them? Which is why their spouses are written down. They are fated mates. They cannot get cheated on. That is how I play. This is Jonathan Connorson. I love that I changed the alders' last names when my family tree got too big for the cousins. So I know this is Connor's. Well, this is Connor's grandson. I'm so sorry. This is embarrassing. Sorry about that. I didn't have my phone on silent, so that was embarrassing. All right. So here is Jonathan Connorson. He recently got married. So that is where we've popped in. Yeah. So John Alder was our Gen 0. He was part of the 3rd household. So Connor. And he is the son of Elijah, who looks like he lost his hair. Again, guys, glitches are going to happen. We're just going to call it as it is and leave it be. So he is their oldest son who went out and got married. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be worrying about marrying off these little kids because our family tree, if you guys want to see, it's just too much to keep a hold of and marry everyone out and get them all taken care of. Like, people can't even load. Oh gosh, Duke Arthur Alder does not have hair. He's a king. Right now they claim themselves to be kings. So what we're going to do is just see how the world is going to load first. All right, so oh, that is right. Okay, so our royal family, Tyrn, has claimed that her husband is the born again King Arthur, the soul of King Arthur. Which is really funny because Tyrn's family is descendants of King Arthur. But look, this is the medieval times and she's spinning whatever story she can because she feels righteous in claiming her family's kingdom back from her brother. Yes, from her brother, because her brother is being strongholded by the kingdom of Moria. So Tyrn has claimed Hemford on Bagley as her own kingdom and is calling it Camelot. So this is the kingdom of Camelot right now. And they are, you know, glorifying the olden ways of King Arthur and Merlin and all that. So her daughter recently got married. They are allowing women. So she claimed herself as queen and claimed her husband, sorry. She claimed herself as queen because she is the descendant. Like, she's still part of the royal family line. But she is claiming her husband has like the soul and the spirit of King Arthur. And, you know, they're meant to rise up against the tyranny of the Empire of Moria, who is trying to overtake Avalon. That is true. They are trying to overtake. But she has basically usurped this part of the kingdom, called it her own. So this is why we're going to war. And so she's a queen. So technically this is a queendom, the queendom of Camelot. Like, it's getting crazy. So the kingdom, Prince John is been named heir to the throne Prince John is named heir to the throne because Prince Augusta will not have a child because he lost his wife and his children and he is devastated. So he has left the throne to Prince John based on his contract with Moria because Moria wants to start a war. Well, Moria found a way to start a war because our sweet heir fell in love with the princess Palvetta. and she ran away from home, assumed a new identity, used a magic spell to change the way she looked and everything. Although she's kind of back to her regular looks now. Um, because of that, Moria is saying, you know, our princess wasn't safe. She was supposed to politically be arranged for marriage for someone important. And now Moria is out of that contract deal. So they're taking that upon the way to charge war with Avalon because Moria is against magic. And I've told you guys, Avalon is like their like the port city and main part of the capital. And then it was like Hemford on Bagley, which is now our Camelot. And then it was our Enchanted Woods of Glimmerbrook. That's all one part of one country. Well, it was. It's now 3 countries. But it was part of the same continent. And Moria is invading with the intention to get to Glimmerbrook and destroy the elven magic in Glimmerbrook. So that is my plot. That is my lore. Here we are at 22 minutes. And I haven't played. So I always plan for Moria to win. I wanted Avalon to be conquered by Moria, and I wanted Camelot, Hemford on Bagley, to be our new country. That was like my plan. That's why Arthur and Taryn, Princess Taryn, now Queen Taryn, established it as its own free king. Well, not free kingdom, but like its own queendom after the events of the last couple episodes. But if you're not caught up and if you are caught up and you're like, oh man, I watched all this, is this not going to be the story anymore? It is 100% always going to be the history of our timeline. I just have to make a new save file. So what we'll do is we'll carry over a few characters into that new save file, maybe their children, and this is just their family lore. I'm going to have them like fleeing to another country or something to escape. So it's unfortunate because I wanted to play this out a little bit further before I did any new timeline, new save file kind of vibes. So I'm trying to decide who is like the most worthy to come over. I'm going to say right now, no royals, because they're going to go down with their kingdom. So that does mean Arthur, that does mean Taryn, that does mean all them. So I'm looking at my family pool, and Nimue family is vampires. I don't know if we should bring them over. Maybe Gwen. Gwen looks a lot like Halia. She married Nico and they have 3 children. Let me make sure they're up in the gallery. But maybe we bring Gwen. She is the only daughter of our first heir. So that might be a good way to do it. I need to see how old she is.
8 is 29.
Gwen is 29. So Gwen is 29. That's a great age because we can make her family. And she has 2 boys. Oh, I'm sorry. She has a son and 2 daughters. So we'll bring Gwen to the new save file and we'll say that she escaped the countries like because of everything that happened. Because her husband Nicholas is from a different country. I hadn't decided where. So we might just make a whatever of our own. I will still keep my save file so I can like come in and take characters, but I cannot open a household. I can only go into cast. I cannot open a household. And I have script mods turned off. So we can bring Elijah. He is, they have a good sized family. So, and their son just got married. So we could bring his son who is married as well. Elijah is Connor's grandson. So he's our 3rd side household from the main timeline. He's the cousin of Gwen as well. So that could work. They have 3 boys, a girl, and oh, this might be a girl actually. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. They have that. So we will upload them and then I'll upload Elijah's son and his new wife. That way we have some relatives in the world. And I'm not sure if we're going to play them as our main households, but I would like to have them as like some background characters because if you've been with me these last 2 years, you know how much work. I've have 75 regular episodes in the Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge. That's not including recaps. That's not including, you know, how to play videos or catching up videos or cast videos or build videos or family tree videos. It's not having any of that. So I've spent, like, if you add all of that, I probably am just shy of 100 episodes. And so you guys know that this challenge means a lot to me. But I can't save everyone. It's like 182 sims. Come on. Like, I really can't do that. And making those connections again, it just didn't feel very authentic. So we're just going to have to take it. I'm just going to put key players in the gallery. So if you guys are interested in like telling your own story with them or having them in the background, you can. So like the big thing is that I want to start with a clean save file. So maybe these characters are just our past characters and we use them to make the families in the 1400s. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. We'll do a cast video where we do like 10 generations all in cast. So to get us to the year 1400. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys on the journey of redoing my save file and we're going to jump into the year 1400. So what I'm going to do is we're going to say that it is the year 1337. Theodore has gone off to war. and he dies. Nathaniel was protected by a fairy godmother situation because of the maid who, if you guys remember that plot, the maid, when she died, her spirit became attached to protecting Nathaniel from people who would wish he wasn't born because her brother tried to kill him. So what we're going to do is, this is their, so we have Nathaniel. Charmant is the nephew of Theodore. We're going to say they both died in war due to Charmant being his, what's it called? The little helper for the knights, squire. So they both died. Calvetta, Etta, will take her children, Rachel, Henry, and Nathaniel, out of the country to protect them. So the year is 1338, okay? They're dead. They're living as refugees in another country, okay? I hope you guys don't mind me telling the story. Palvetta, so Henry and Rachel. So let's do some death rolls. So this is Rachel having grown up, and let's see if she will, I guess we could do each one of their children. So let's see if Rachel makes it to teenhood, which I believe is just an 18, but let me double check. Okay. That way you guys can see. Where is my map? So if Rachel made it to a teen, she just can't get a 7. Okay, so Rachel does get to become a teenager. She will have gotten married. We're not going to roll to see if that happened. Here is her as a teenager. So we will have her get married and we'll do babies with her in a little bit. Let's see if Henry aged up, because there's a good chance that they don't, you know. So for Henry to age up from an infant to a toddler, he cannot get a 4 or an 8. Got a 20, so he will make it to a toddler. So this is still our main older line. Here is Henry as a toddler. Let's see if Henry makes it to a child. That is a 9 or a 19. He does not. So Henry passes away, probably due to them being refugees in another country. They just didn't have the resources. So Nathaniel is protected until he is a teenager. That was something we said in the lore. So we're going to follow that. So, oh boy, Nathaniel, you look insane. You have all the bad glitches. Like, neither of his parents resemble this. Neither of his parents look like this. Like, I hate having to completely change the genetics, but I just don't know what The Sims is doing anymore. Like, all of them age up to look terrifying. Like, have a normal face, please. Clicking features. The skin details don't help with the shade. There we go. Okay, he looks normal. We'll keep him like this. So his mother will die of old age. She's never going to be reproducing anyways. So that is that. Nathaniel and Rachel are going to get married, but with them being refugees, Nathaniel doesn't really have anything to offer anyone. So I'm just going to quickly look and see if we have any other refugees that they're not related to that's in the catalog. Do that real fast. Honestly, I decided that was too hard. So what I'm going to do is just add a new sim. If it's a boy, that's the girl. Okay, so this is going to be his wife. So we'll just quickly just remove some basic CC so we can look at this character. We'll give her a name. Eliza, that's a perfect name. She has beautiful features and all that, beautiful coloring. So Eliza and Nathaniel, they're living in this other country. They get married and they'll have one child. So we're just going to do one and see if it ages up. And if it doesn't, the family line is dead. I don't want to have to, do a million children. So his name is Brennan. Brennan is a great name for a medieval son. I need to roll to see if Brennan makes it through all his ages. So we're going to show you guys like what Brennan looks like as a teenager and if he'll grow up to get married. He looks normal. That is fantastic. So Brennan, 1337 was the war. Palvetta ran away in 1338. So Nathaniel was born in 1336. So if he is marrying age, that would be 16 years later, 1337. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The year is 1352 now. So our death rolls are a little bit different over here, I think. I'm not too sure. But we're in the year 52. So I'm going to go quickly down here. This is our main family. So he's going to get married. He's the heir from there. Oh, technically, if Theodore died, technically his brother, who was the pastor, would have became our main heir because Theodore didn't have any children that were of age to take over. But since his wife ran to a different country, I'm going to say we're going to keep following them because I am not going to follow the one who became a pastor. he also had a young infant child. So we're just going to stick with this family and all that. But in all technicality, the way the challenge works, we would have ended up with Alexander. No, it would have been Arthur. So Arthur would have been our main heir because Theodore died, and then it would have gone to his brother, who was the pastor. He was going to war as well, and he died. So then it would have went to Arthur. Arthur is king. Technically, yes, his family would have continued, but I don't want to play a royal family. So they're off the books. And then it would have went to Alexander's family, who we did save. We're going to bring Gwen's family to the new timeline as well, though. So I will put Gwen here too. We have to skip Arthur because Arthur is king and their family will not be diluted down. They're either going to be our monarchs in the new save file, and I'm not going to start with a monarch, or they're dead because they didn't survive the war. So to stay in the Alder timeline and in the children of Jacob Alder. So according to the challenge rules, we wouldn't have stayed with Theodore's family whenever they escaped, but I am just going to go through key families, see who would have made it to the year 1400 and put their children's children in the year 1400. So Nathaniel would have been taking over as our lead male of Theodore's household, and they're aldermen. And as I do each family, I'm going to, remember, I'll make a list right here. And then this is when he would have gotten married and had a son. So this is where the alderman family is going. So, and all the other children died. So during that time, Pavetta is just trying to keep her children alive. And in 1352, her son Nathaniel gets married. So now Nathaniel has had a son named Brennan, and we're going to see if Brennan lives. So technically he's not a teenager. I'm just showing you a teenager's face. So for him to have survived birth, he just can't get a 1. Now we're doing our baby roll. He makes it to infants. He makes it to be a toddler. Yes. Now we're rolling to see if he makes it out of childhood. Yes. Or he is a child. And now we're doing his teen roll, 18. Yes. So he made it all the way through. Oh my goodness. My face is blocking. Oh, this whole time my face has been blocking the dice. Fun. Okay. So Brandon. So my face was blocking the die. Brennan made it all the way to teenhood. So we're going to axe Nathaniel and Brennan's mother, Eliza, and we'll thank her for her service. We're going to say that Rachel lived a happy life, got married and all that, but I am just not going to go down that tree for them. So they get lost to time. Brennan Alderman is now able to get married. So we'll have him become a young adult, and I will just do the random sim generator and see who ends up being, and we'll just see who ends up being his spouse. We're going to switch to female and randomize name. This is Raina. Raina ends up marrying Brennan, and they're peasants because of the war. Brennan's family had to be refugees. So the year now is, so Brennan would get married at the age of 16. So 1, 2, 3. So the year now is 1368. And Brennan Alderman is all that's left of this family line of aldermen. And I guess we need to do it 1 or 2 more times to see if his child survives. If it's a girl from now on, I can follow whoever I want to follow from now on in my challenge because I want to play how I want to play. So if they end up having a girl, they have a girl. It looks like they're having a son because it is randomized, but I'm just going to say that if whatever happens, I will follow whoever I'm the most interested in, but I will always try to shake it up. Or maybe I'll follow the firstborn, whether it's a boy or a girl. So their child is Eric. And we will go ahead and axe Brennan. Well, actually, can we give them 1 of 3? So just in case their child dies, maybe we can have another one. Okay. So the year is 1369, and Brennan has a child. Let's meet Eric's fate and see how Eric ages. Eric makes it past his birth. He survives his baby roll. This is his infant roll. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. I'm so sorry, guys. So he made it past his birth. He made it to his baby roll. This is his infant roll. He survived. This is his toddler roll. He did not survive his toddlerhood. So Brennan lost his son, Eric, as a toddler. So let me show you guys. Poor little Eric did not make it. So we'll say goodbye to Eric. We will allow for Brennan and Raina to try for a baby 2 more times if they survive. If not, it is what it is. And it looks like they're having a daughter this time. So we'll randomize one more time. Cool. Hoping for less modern clothes, but whatever. Oh, she's blonde. Oh, she's beautiful. Love her. All right. I don't know why I'm doing all this. I just kind of want to look at basic plain colors. Their daughter's name is Lena. This is Lena Alderman. And let's see if Lena survives to her age up. So did Lena survive her birth? She survives her birth. Her baby role is, oh, so Lena did not make it out of the baby stage, unfortunately. So Lena is an infant. I realize I've been reading the roles wrong because birth is for the mother and not the kids. But luckily, they've all passed, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm having a day. So Lena did not survive past the baby phase. So they lost their child, Lena, as well. All right, so we're going to allow them to try for one more child, and it looks like they had a son. Their son's name is Solomon. And we will see if Solomon makes it to, mind you, okay, let's check on the years. So they lost their first child in 1369. They will say 2 years later, we'll give a 2-year gap because of healing and then pregnancy. So in 13, well, their other child didn't make it past toddlerhood. So he lived to be a toddler. So that would be 5 years. So their first son didn't live past being a toddler. So one, two, three, four, he would have passed away. And then they had another child who didn't make it past birth. We're going to just say that she was born for transparency in between. So they're both passed away at this time at 1337. So, I mean, in the year 1373. So that's where we are right now. We'll see if Solomon survived his roles. So to see if he survived, I need to be focusing on these numbers and not the birth role. Please excuse everyone else who made it, but I don't care. All right, so for the baby, he survived his role, his infant role. He survived. This is his toddler role. He survived. This is his child role. He did survive, and this is his teen role. So he does make it to a teenager, which means we're going to let him age up and get married. So Solomon, son of Brennan, son of Nathaniel, son of Theodore, is now ready to get married. I hope you guys don't hate this episode because I'm going to have to do this for a lot of our family characters that we're allowing to come over. I don't know why I randomized his traits. So Solomon grew up. Did he grow up to be bald? Are we just going to say that's canon? There, Solomon looking pretty good. Looks like our family is losing a few things like the bridge of the nose. So I'm just going to give him a little pop out so we don't like create crazy looking Sims. There we go. Looking pretty normal. Maybe we can make his eyes a little bit bigger. There we go. So yeah, this is Solomon. Time for Solomon to get married and age up and see who his spouse is. His spouse is Heidi. So Solomon and Heidi are going to have a child, and we will see how that goes out for them. Their first child is a daughter whose name is Scarlett, probably because of the red hair coming back in the family. Oh my goodness, I love that so much. Okay, so we'll see if Scarlett survives all her roles. So we're going to start with, does Scarlett survive being born? 510. So Scarlett did not survive being born. So she passes away as a newborn. So this is what she would have looked like. So they lost their daughter, Scarlett, have another baby. We'll give everyone 3 chances. So this is their second child. And let's also look at the year because we want to make sure we're moving the timeline as well. So Solomon Alderman is married in the year 1389. They lost their first child within the first year of marriage. So the second child is being born in 1391. So we're kind of in that space where we would be in the new save file. So we really want to pay attention to Solomon and Heidi because they're most likely going to be in our new save file. So let's see if Solomon and Heidi's son Tristan survives birth and all of the things because he will most likely be in our new save file. So we are in the year we're in the year 1391 at this point. We will see if he survives birth. 5, 10, 15, 20. No. So Tristan did not survive birth as well. So they've lost 2 kids. So they really only have the option to try one more time. But let's say goodbye to baby Tristan. Their last child is looking to be a son as well. Let's see what this child looks like. A lot like his brother Tristan. His name is Brenton. So Brenton Alderman, let's see if he survives birth and toddlerhood and all the phases of life. This is to see if he survived birth. He does. If he survives to be an infant, he does. Toddlerhood, he does. Childhood, oh no, Brenton does not make it past this stage of childhood. And this is the third child lost by Heidi and Solomon. So in game, we are going to be in the year. So if they had another child born, I'm sorry, they lost that childhood would be 5. So if it was born in 1391, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in the year 1395. This is the last try that they get to see if they can have a child when entering the new save file. So Solomon and Heidi, looks like they're having another son. They've had 2 sons already. Hugo, we're going to see if Hugo makes it to the save file through all his roles. And the year is, what did I say the year was? 1395. So the year is 1395. And we're going to do his roles. He survives birth. He survives infanthood. He did not survive toddlerhood. So Hugo did not survive toddlerhood. So this is baby Hugo. And unfortunately, he does not make it. So we do not, Solomon and Heidi don't have any children going into the new save file. But I kind of just wanted to show you guys what it's going to look like for building our characters for our new save file, because we're going to be entering in the year 13. We're going to be entering in the year 1400. They technically could have a child, but because of everything, it's going to be hard for them to have children. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out for them. I'm going to save the household to my gallery. So Solomon Alder and his wife Heidi, they're 26 in the year 1400. They've lost children. And they have the opportunity to have 2 more children. They will be in the save file. I'm not sure if they'll be our main characters, but I did want to carry over our generation legacies from the 1300s and our original Extreme Ultimate Decade save file. So remember, he comes from Theodore, who you guys have been watching up to this point. He is the great-great-great-grandson of Theodore. And so where Solomon comes in, it's John Alder, Jacob Alder, Francis Alder, Theodore Alder, Nathaniel Alderman. So Theodore changed their last name to Alderman. Nathaniel Alderman, Brennan Alderman, Solomon Alderman. So we are 7 generations deep, not including the ping pong heirs of Frederick being, you know, Francis's older brother and then going through all that. But we're 7 generations deep. We're going to start the year 17. I mean, we're going to start the year 1400, and Solomon will be our 7th generation of the Alder family from the main male line. So he is going to be the only one who carries over from Francis. So I hope that made sense for you guys. We're going to do this a few more times for a few other of our classic households. Please let me know in the comments, who do you want me to see do this for before we build our new save file with their grandchildren and start our year 1400. But let me know anyone you want to see. I want to do it with Gwen for sure. And I think Alexander as well. Let me know if there is any other characters you would like to see their grandchildren end up in the new save file in the year 1400. All right, guys, I hope this wasn't a terrible episode. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, bye.